Welcome. We appreciate you guys joining us. Thank you for tuning in to Shop Culture. Today is March 9th, 2021. I am Twan the Voice here on Shop Culture with Mr. Barry Crosby and Dr. James Hill. What's up, fellas?
Man, how's everybody doing out there in Shop Culture land? Welcome once again. This is Shop Culture. You know who I am, joined by, you know who this man is, the relationship guru. Mr. / Doctor. Some people say Doctor / Mr. James R. Hill.
How's everybody doing? Glad y'all tuning in. We got a good one.
Oh, yeah. Woo, James on a mission. And then you guys know who that man is in the background with the voice.
Yo, what's up? Appreciate you guys.
And I'm Barry Crosby, and this is Shop Culture. Once again, another Tuesday at 8:30. You know how we're doing this. And make sure you guys that, you chime in, say hello. How was everybody's weekend? How's everybody's week going? Moving forward? Man, March is going by quickly.
Right, yeah.
That's
this
crazy,
year, we're going to be in the summertime pretty soon.
Man, I can't
you
wait.
guys
We're going to
ready?
do some boat. What's up, man?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're doing Shop Culture on the boat?
Absolutely.
I'm ready, man.
We're going to do that. We have got to do that.
No, it's all good. How's your weekend, though? Talk to me.
Weekend was good, got a little rest and, staying safe still, just getting ready for summer, preparing, relaxing, Take care of things. How about you?
It was long, man. Long week. I'm thankful that I'm recovering, but it's just been really, really busy. So taking care of some family issues and things of that sort. And then we got to get back to work and getting the shop going. And then, got to spend that quality time with your little man. So
right.
We had a lot going. So, but always look forward to Tuesdays at 8:30.
Absolutely.
So, Shop Culture, man, we are here. Let's start with the first one, because you had one that came on kind of later when you're talking about some body count.
Okay, yeah, I had to throw that in there just to see where everybody was at with that, because
what do you think on the body count?
We're in the Northwest. Can you pop that up? So this was a question: is sexual body count of someone that you're dating of importance? Is that important to you? I mean, do you cut it off if you find out the body count is high, or if it involved a couple people that you know, or if just it's high in general, or do you cut it off if it's low, if the person isn't experienced enough?
I don't know too many people that are probably going to cut it when it's low.
Well,
you think as a man, if you met a woman and she said, "I've only been with less than 5 people," let's say she's in her 40s. Yeah. Would you be like, no? I mean, what man would you be like, that's too low?
On average, no. But if she says she's only been with one, and her experience level, are you willing to teach and coach and to attend to your needs that you want? Or do you want a woman that's seasoned and experienced and knows how to please a man sexually?
Well, those are some interesting
preference.
Is what your preference is. What do you people out there think?
What do you think?
Ooh, I don't know.
People comment. Did you see comments?
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I don't think it matters to me. It should only matter when you're in the relationship, I guess, right? You don't want them to have that body count going high. But man,
Chris, how you doing?
Chris,
Glad you're tuning in.
I mean, who?
My girl Yakaba.
How
you doing?
No, I don't see what's the big deal about it, especially at our age. The older we get, I mean, shit, everybody got a pass.
Right.
Do you?
Okay, that's the way I feel. I mean, if you're respectable about it, I mean, if it doesn't matter, then don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
So if someone is asking about your body count, it's a concern to them. So are you going to be honest with them? Are you going to tell them the truth?
What if you don't know the truth? What if you give them a rough estimate?
Well, you can give a rough estimate. I mean, over 50, under 50. But clearly it's a concern to that person if they're asking that question. It's up to you if you want to share it with them or not.
Guys, I have a question. All right, when people give the answer of the body count, do they generally lowball? And if they lowball, what do you assume the actual number is closer to? Like, how do you total that for real?
Well, why wouldn't you take them at face value what they say? I mean, why would you assume that they're lowballing?
Because typically, I think men, we have probably a higher body count than women do.
No, not necessarily.
Or admit more per se than a woman will.
To your buddies, yeah, you're gonna say your body count is high. But if it matters to a person, they're gonna ask. If it doesn't matter, I say, don't ask, don't tell.
I just think that, but it's interesting because to some people it's very important. Okay. Like how many people that you slept with, and I'm like, man, why?
Why does that matter?
It shouldn't matter. Everybody's had a past. Who cares, man?
Right.
It matters. It should only matter at the present. What's going on now?
Right. And have you dragged that body count or any of that body count into what's going on right now?
Well, that will never be admitted, probably.
Well, that'll be shown.
So somebody said that they had 20,
and you're still carrying that baggage into that relationship. It's going to show because it's going to reveal itself.
What do you mean it's going to reveal itself?
I'm saying if you haven't had closure on this body count, and some of them are lingering and see you in something new, it's going to be shown. It's going to expose itself because there's going to be contact and communication.
There is going to be contact. Do men honestly ever get rid of some of that past?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, okay. So how would you do that?
If you're serious about going forward and leaving your past behind you, you sever all ties.
How do you do that? I mean, you let them know, hey, this is what's up. I'm in something new. Don't contact me.
That's it. And you sever all ties, communication, everything.
Does it depend on how good the sexual experience was with that person?
Well,
if it was a good connection sexually.
Then why are you letting it go? If that's what's important to you, then you're not going to be wanting to let it go.
Well, you could, because there could be other areas that they're very lacking. So.
Right. And that's why I say let it go. Leave the past in the past.
Man.
No backpedaling.
I just don't think it's anybody's business. I agree. Let's get on to some of these comments. Stephanie, how you doing, Steph? Thank you for tuning in. She said, okay, what does it matter, or why does it matter? I don't understand. I'm with you, Stephanie, and I totally agree. I think it's corny, especially when a man asks a woman, how many guys you been with?
Right.
Wait, really? And they're usually asking in the bed after the fact.
Right. So obviously it's of some importance to that man, which shows some insecurities, because the next thing he's going to ask, well, where do I rate? You know,
who asked that?
So, some guys that are not.
Man, do you ask that? Man, do you ask where I rate?
If they're women, that do men ask you that? Where do I rate?
That sounds like some insecurity on their
insecurity. Part. Absolutely.
I think if you already know that you're about average, you just keep it like that, and then you just keep it moving.
Right.
Who doesn't matter how you compare to somebody else if you're just running your best race.
Right. And what is Shauna Trapp? How you doing, Shauna?
Now she says that
none of anyone's business. I'm grown. Mind your business.
Oh, tell her, Shauna. Okay.
That's right. So don't ask, don't tell.
That's what it should be.
Right. So what should it matter? We all have a past. I mean, what a woman should be asking a man is, have you had any homosexual experiences in your past? You know.
Wait a minute, Doc. Wait.
Hey, where there's a chance you contract an HIV or something and pass it on to them. That should be a greater concern.
Really?
Yeah, than a body count of women.
Or maybe in general, have you been tested type of thing probably should be there.
Right. Yeah, you want to know if you're asking if you what your body count is. The next question is, have you been tested?
What I don't understand about men, and this maybe.
See, Steph said what she said. She said, "Thank Doc. I've had that question asked."
Oh, so Stephanie, what exact question was asked? The body count, or
where do I rate?
Where do I? Yeah.
But
my thing is, like back in the day, a man would get mad, like he'll go out there and sleep with a woman one night stand.
Okay.
And then want to get mad about the one night stand, ask her, well, do you do that often?
Right.
Well, it doesn't matter if you already did it.
Well,
so
then he had intentions of taking it further. It was good to him, and he wanted more out of it.
But they want to get mad and call the woman out. It's like, well,
Right.
dude, you're doing the same thing.
Exactly. That's the point. So if a woman means something to you and you see a future with her, refrain yourself on the first night from that physical. Get into the mental. Give her that mental orgasm.
Well,
Tomorrow ain't promised. You better live.
Okay. Well, at least you know you had a good mental orgasm if you don't make it to tomorrow.
And another thing is, why does everybody always want to be like the best when it comes to that? Like, what do you accomplish by a woman or a man telling you that you're the best?
Well, that's an ego thing. That's something that, because if someone's telling you that, then they see where your ego is hurting, and they feel the need to stroke your ego to boost you up where you're lacking confidence. Probably that's the only thing that's the way I see it.
So it's ego driven, and that's what sex. Because honestly, from your experience, Doc, do you think everybody thinks that they're really good at sex? Have you ever met somebody that says, "Yeah, I'm not really that good at it. I enjoy it, but I'm not good." Of all sexual experiences, have you ever met that type of person? I want to meet that person.
That says they're not good at it. I've never met. I've met
Everybody's
people that
great.
say they don't have good chemistry and it wasn't good with this person or that person. But I've never heard a person say I'm not good at sex. I think it's kind of a natural thing. And if you have chemistry and you vibe with that person, you make it work and you try different things and you open yourself up to ideas and suggestions, and you learn each other,
I think that's what makes sex good. It's openness.
Right.
As long as you're open for whatever that entails in the bedroom or outside the bedroom, I think that's what make it good. But, each is their own. So Yo-Yo Thomas, thank you for watching. She said mental orgasm. Yes.
Yeah.
What exactly, I always ask that, what exactly is the mental organ? Because I've heard that, and I've heard it a lot lately. Like, people are like, oh, I want to be mentally. I'm like, okay,
mentally
what's that?
Stimulated. Give them something for their brain that shows that you actually have a brain, that you can stimulate their thought process, that you can share some knowledge with them, that you can show some intelligence. That's stimulating. Intelligence is a very attractive factor.
But is that the first thing that attracts people? Is it the intelligence or is the physical?
Well, it's the physical attraction first, but if the physical attraction draws people to each other, but that intelligence, that's what keeps people engaged.
During this COVID time, you actually had to talk to people to get to know you because you couldn't generally see them all the time.
Right.
But people are having sex at an all-time rate, probably. With the COVID.
So the mental part had to be there, I'm saying, during this last little bit.
Interesting.
Right. Absolutely.
Steph says, I'm all about the mentally F word. We can't say the F word. All right, Steph, we got parents watching. F me good before you physically do me good. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So she needs a mental orgasm before the physical orgasm.
Interesting.
Right. And Mark says it's confidence in knowing how to do it.
And that's sexy.
Confidence is a big part.
Not conceit.
Right.
Conceited, but actually confidence.
But confidence, yes, I agree with that part. But the knowing how to do it part, you may think you know how to do it with one person. That may be a total turn off to another person.
Oh, I didn't think about that. So, guys and women, do you guys find it insulting? Maybe if somebody has a routine that they do that they use from different partners.
Right. I mean,
is that a turn off or?
It is, because you want to get to know what your partner likes, what stimulates them, and that's a case by case basis. And and even if you're in a monogamous relationship, you don't want your sex to be mechanical, to where it's done the same way every time of week, time of day, positions, things like that. You want to mix it up.
Isn't that most relationships though? When you get to a certain point, it is become routine. But sometimes that routine is good because that's something for you to look forward to. So if you're having sex Tuesday, I was gonna say Tuesday 8:30, but we don't want you to have sex during the show. Nasty selves. Wait till after the show, then you guys can go have the sex. But the point being, let's say it's Tuesday at 10:30 every Tuesday.
Okay.
Is that necessarily a bad thing, even though it might be a routine type of
No. I mean, if your schedules, if that's what your schedules line up, that's fine. But don't make it mechanical. Don't same position, same length of time. Change it up. Try something new.
I always wanted to ask: does time matter when it comes to sex? Does it? Because some guys be like, "Well, I'll beat it up for I'm at 20 minutes." Well, did you really?
Well,
I mean, what does that have to do with anything?
Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes, and like we said on, I think it was our first show when we were talking. Sometimes it takes a woman longer. More often than not, it takes a woman longer than a man to reach orgasm. So
then, why do women get so offended when it takes a man almost just as long to get the same thing? I've heard that.
You've heard that?
I've heard that.
Oh, okay. That sounds like words of experience to me.
No, not at all, brother.
Okay, you've heard that.
I heard that. Okay. What's up, Miss T? Hello, how you doing?
I have never heard a woman say he took too long. He lasts too long.
Wait. You've never out there. You guys have never heard that, boys. You never heard that.
I mean, honestly, we had to pull a family member aside and said that we heard some not so positive things out there on the street, like he wasn't representing the family name very well.
What did that
his sex game was trash, basically.
Oh, see,
we had to correct him. We had to pull him aside, like, hey.
Well, how you correct that?
We had to coach him up, man. Like, yo, the moves that you're doing apparently is not appeasing.
Wow.
Like, yo, you messing up the family name right now.
But we're talking about time. Yeah. Put
Rakita just said, yes, time matters. I don't want to be up all night.
Oh.
So she don't want to be up all night and pumping and sweating, So some women can come to multiple orgasms a lot quicker than a man. Most women take longer. And I blame it. A lot of women take long to come to orgasm because they're using these power tools on their vagina.
Which I never heard it. I'm not offended, but you
I'm not offended, but it's a fact.
Do you? And I think it's better because then it takes away the pressure off of the guy.
All right.
I don't have to keep working and doing all that kind of stuff. God, that's a lot of work.
But if you remove the tools and the toys and you want to bring your woman to a organic orgasm, you're going to have to work for it. If she's used to the power tools and the intensity of that.
But that's what I thought you said the mental would come in. Shouldn't the mental, see, that's what I'm saying.
Well, the mental is before, The mental is before.
Okay, so it may take a long time, but are you part of the problem or are you part of the solution? Are you helping me get there faster or are you just going to complain about it the whole time? I think part of the problem or the solution. I'm going to need you to get one way or the other.
I get offended when a woman has multiple orgasms.
You do.
Because I think that's being greedy.
You don't think that you're satisfying her and you don't get fulfillment from her being satisfied and you bringing that to her?
No, I mean, I just think that if I'm going one time and she should only do it once.
Well, if she's getting multiples, then
that's a lot.
You're delivering multiple orgasms. You're giving her pleasure. You're keeping her. That should be fulfilling to you.
But doesn't that become the norm? Then all of a sudden, every single time, then we got to keep doing it, and you have to do multiple. That's just a lot. That's
absolutely not. You play video games before. Every once in a while, you just want to get that high score, and then you're good.
Sometimes I don't know voice, but yeah.
You want to get that. I made her have more orgasms than anybody else. You want to get that high score, Barry.
Unless you're going to tell you the truth on that.
Put Steph's other comment up to the variety. What did I say? Variety is always helpful and good, but you have to know your person and agreement. He may want 5 minutes and I may want an hour. It's all about compromise.
That's a big 5 minutes and 60. How do you where's the compromise on that?
Right.
We got to meet somewhere in between because the 5 minutes, that guy ain't gonna want to go over 20 minutes. Miss Rakita says, yes, time matters. We already said that one. Yes. I know that's right. What did Shay say?
Said, if you know what you're doing, then toys shall bring us both to an orgasm. Ooh.
Interesting.
And that works too.
Huh. Okay. Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah. So what did you mean by that?
Yeah, we gotta get more some more detail about that. Stephanie said, "Oh, most definitely there are some good guys who take too long. Listen, 1 to 2 hours is good, but dang, don't have me up more than 3 hours." You said 1 to 2 hours.
1 to 2
What
hours.
who the hell you? Hey,
How many
You better
breaks?
pack a lunch going on.
yeah, damn! I got tired of reading the damn thing.
How many breaks do you get within that 1 to 2 hours?
That's a job.
Is there some water breaks?
Am I getting paid?
Am I part of the union?
Some cigarette
Hey,
breaks?
Steph, you're watching the wrong show. These are older men. We're older now. I didn't think I
I'm
liked
about
it.
to have a birthday. I can't be doing all that.
I never liked it like even when I was younger. No, keep all that. William said top 10 is good on the scoring chart. Okay. Explain that though. So top 10 in terms of what? And you want your woman to say you're top? I mean, do you want really to know that?
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
Everybody wants an ego boost, correct?
Right.
Does it hurt your feelings to know that you was pretty damn good? You was in the top 10?
Right, but then if you're not number one, then you're gonna want to know, well, how did I not make number one?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're
That's
gonna
how
be
You
in
better
your
get out there
feelings.
and practice.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Come on.
Shay said before, she said, I've said it. We were talking about something else.
Okay.
Whatever you
Yeah,
said.
we got. Oh, this is getting. Hey guys, once again, thank you for watching. This is Shop Culture.
She said tip top
Oh,
secret. I
see,
can't disclose.
Yeah, we're going in today. The topic is sex, satisfying partners, and what do you do when it fades? Because that's another issue that you have, right? You've been in this relationship for 5 to 7 years. You reach that
10 to
itch.
15 years or whatever it may be. How do you
You
handle
said
it?
how long?
You said 5 to
I
10.
said about 10.
You
I
said
said 10 to
10 to
15. Yeah.
I was talking about months.
No. 10.
Yeah, I was talking about
Wait, we're talking about months.
No,
5
no,
to
no.
10. Yeah.
And then you lose physical attraction for your partner. How do you navigate around that? Is that where we were going?
Well, we can go there.
We weren't going there yet?
No, you did it, dog. Let's roll with it.
Okay, I thought
Man,
that's
you
where we
must
were
get
going.
us all
Excuse me if we
jammed up.
weren't.
All right, so you mean to tell me that 10 to 15 years down the road, you still going to be just as attracted to them as you were when y'all first met?
Why shouldn't you be?
Because
Things change.
Relationships change.
Yes.
The way they portray themselves changes. They grow into a different person than when y'all
physically
started.
changes.
You both do.
Physical changes,
You both
absolutely,
do.
Barry.
Okay, so say you get to that point. You love this person. You have a lot together. You enjoy their company. You're friends, and you're no longer physically attracted to them.
And I think that happens in a lot of relationships because the nature of the relationship changes. Doesn't mean that you love them less. It's just the physical aspect has changed,
Right.
and you're no longer.
So how do you meet that need? I mean, how do you backpedal and get back to what you used to have? How do you
Some people bring other people in.
bring that attraction in? Bring other people in. Do you think that's a good idea?
I don't know the strength of their relationship.
You guys think that's a good idea?
I think it's cool, like just for fun, but not to strengthen your relationship. So, I mean,
But something's obviously missing though. If you physically, and that's a hard thing to get back though. How do you get that back?
Right. And
Because
I want to hear you guys' comments on what do you think? How do you get that back when you lose that physical attraction? And well, Shay said always spice it up. So that way you keep the fire lit so it doesn't go out.
I agree with that. But also though, we have to also take into consideration, we're talking about the physical aspect of it.
Right.
So it's not necessarily the spicing up, right? You're talking about the physical appearance or the physical nature of even the relationship. Let's say like you used to come home and you see her in the kitchen, you used to go and slap her butt.
Right.
That stopped because maybe her butt got different. I don't know. It's just
And it spread and dropped a little bit or something, and you're not
Just like this
attracted to
man-
got a
that.
little more
stomach
cottage
got-
cheese than he used to, a little more cellulite.
yeah. Huh.
Okay, and Rakita says, don't let yourself go and get all out of shape. And that's a good idea. Stay physically fit, not for your partner, but for yourself, for your health. And it always makes you to retain.
I got attacked when I said that before, so I'm just gonna let you say it.
There is nothing wrong with looking out for your health, staying physically fit and being physically attractive, because the physical, and mainly with men are visual creatures. So that visual stimulation is a lot to a man. More than it is to a woman, I would say.
Well, it is. And the interesting thing, I would even say that sometimes it's more to it than that, because let's say as a man that you're used to dealing with a certain type of woman, and then you come across somebody that's different than what you're accustomed to, and they kind of turn, turn you out. So sometimes it's not just the physical aspect, it's just sometimes they got that it factor.
Okay.
So that it factor.
So maybe if they're not physically attracted to you, then you have a physical attraction. Is that a different attraction? Is the visual and the physical touch different?
Or that person might know ways of touching you that other people. So it's just so many different factors when you talk about sex. And that's
right. Hey, TT.
How you doing?
TT said things change in relationships because what you did to get the person, you need to do to keep them.
Amen.
And that's
exactly what we're saying.
That's exactly right, TT. But then when your physical appearance changes or their physical appearance changes and you're no longer they're no longer physically attractive to you, how do you get around that?
And that's what we were proposing, because even in the barbershop, that's one of some of the things that men come in and they have a hard time with, because you still love your woman, you do love her, but you're just not physically, that hardness that you used to get for her is not as, so a lot of times men are feeling like, is it me, or is it something, my testosterone lower? I mean,
or does something need to change? What does Shay say? Open up a third party makes it worse sometimes, depending on the other person's mental. It's fun though.
Oh,
absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. It can enhance a lot of things, but it can also be a devastating blow to your relationship too.
Right. So you need to have that strong relationship and understanding if you're going to bring a third party into it. You have to have that strong connection, that bond with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not physically attracted to your partner, a third party is not a good idea, because most of your attention and effort is going to go into that third party, which is going to be new, may not be more attractive, but it's going to be more attractive to you because it's something new.
I think it's an overrated experience, what I hear, and usually the man gets left out.
Oh, really? Well,
it's about the two, the two women, they get involved and get going, and they forget about the man.
Well, I mean, what I say, when you go into a 3-party situation, a threesome like that, what all parties need to know going into that is it's not a spectator sport.
Gotta get dirty.
Full participation by all. And that's the only way that no one feels left out. I mean, if that's what you choose to do.
One of the things that you did mention is about, changing it up.
Right.
And how important is the change up? I call it the change up, being spontaneity, getting it, doing something different, maybe dressing up. Is that really, really important?
Yes.
Especially in a relationship over a period of time?
Yes. Dress up, change up, role play, keep something exciting to come home to. You may come home and she's a totally different French maid or whatever, she's a nurse, got a nurse outfit on,
I gotta ask, somebody asked this earlier. When a woman does certain things to a man and it's a different experience, like, for example, like tossing the salad, is that for a man, and I'm just asking, if we're going to that extreme, is that something, do you consider that like a gay experience?
I wouldn't say it's gay. It's a man and a woman.
Okay.
And,
yeah.
And you're sharing
somebody asked me.
pleasures of each other, And I mean, I think it's a selfless woman, going the extra step to please her man. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Whew.
What does Shay say? It's the woman. We got menopause, hormones, and other past issues. Okay. Mm-hmm. So does a man go into a relationship saying, okay, this time's going to come, there's going to be menopause, her hormones are going to affect her emotions and her physical?
Well, and that's so true. Okay.
You all right over there?
Okay. What's going on? The voice?
He's losing it over there. Well, Shay said, well, shit, I need. Okay, not going there. Yeah, come on, Shay. You got to go there. We don't know what you're talking about.
What should I need? What's she talking about?
Yeah, we got.
And I was asking a question because somebody came in and they were asking that. Like, that change up. Oh, well, Shauna said it's gay, period.
It's gay, period. Okay. That's her opinion.
Okay.
I don't think exploring and sharing your bodies, I wouldn't say that it's gay. It's if that's what he likes, give him what he likes. I mean,
what I'm saying is maybe if the man's uncomfortable and the woman continues and says that's her thing,
right,
or that's something that she want to experience with you. That's why I'm asking that, because here at Shopkulture, we ask the questions.
Right. And what does Steph say there? Nothing wrong with tossing your man salad. If he tastes good, he tastes good as long as he allows you.
Okay.
So and he may get some enjoyment out of it. So there's nothing wrong with being free with your body with your partner. And I don't agree saying that it's gay, Sean. Okay. Sorry, I don't agree with that.
And let's see. She says, "Who's that? I can't see that name."
Which one are you talking about?
No. Keeping it ladylike.
Oh, okay. So she said she's going to keep her comments reserved.
Okay.
Well, this is a family show, so that's good. That's a good thing.
William said, "I've been married since 2004. We both have lost some attractiveness, but we're still good because we're emotionally connected more than we were before."
And that happens in the course of a relationship where the physical list has changed,
right?
But you're emotionally connected.
Exactly.
But for some people who I think go into it because when you start off, it depends on how important sex is in your relationship. There's some people that sex is very important, and there's some people where sex is important, but it's not the most important. There's other aspects of being in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's where the draw, and I guess you got to gauge your partner,
right? There are stronger bonds than just sex, because if it was just sex, that's not going to sustain you. That's not going to keep your relationship strong for long term. If it's just sex, you have to have more to it. You have to have more of a connection than that.
You have to have a sexual. Hey, B, how you doing? You have to have some type of sexual connection, though.
You do.
And it's got to be.
But if that is all you have, it's not sustainable.
Well, it can get you probably through your first 10 years.
You think 10 years? That's good then. That's good. But it's okay.
Okay, but is it okay? This is the thing. Are we talking about sex, the act, or are we talking about orgasm? Because you need that.
Right.
If you're if you're not getting that in marriage, what is one of the most important aspects of being married to me is that connection. So if you're lacking on that, why are you married?
Okay, well, I mean, so then we're going back to the time it takes during sex. I mean, are you both reaching orgasm? Or, because a lot of guys that I hear from are like, I got 3 minutes. So, you better do what you got to do, because I'm, one and done,
Well, that's because they're putting in all the work.
Yeah, you get 20 strokes and that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
So... And that's, putting your woman's needs and her satisfaction on the back burner,
Okay. V said, depends on how the relationship starts off. You have to have more than sex. There needs to be a friendship, be able to communicate when things do change.
Absolutely.
Point taken. But I think as we have found out during this COVID with a lot of relationships is that probably the communication has been lacking. It hasn't been in the front burner for a long period of time, and therefore the sex becomes lacking. So it does go hand in hand.
Right. Or you could have good sex. You're having more sex during this pandemic, and you really don't have that intellectual connection, and you're spending time together, and you start to irritate each other, and you don't really like each other's company, and that's why the divorce rate has increased since this pandemic.
One of the reasons, yeah.
One of the reasons, yeah.
Huh. Interesting. V said the actual sexual act with no foreplay lasts only 3 to 5 minutes. So you better have a strong relationship. And that's what we're, typically, when I say that, people laugh at it, but that's usually the truth of the matter is people are not having long sex.
Right.
Either that or your tongue game needs to be strong too.
You got to have some other, but it's not usually going to be the product. You're not going to be banging it out for,
And that's what she said. That's important, that foreplay,
And then foreplay can be different or more on the mental side of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
How important is talking, dirty talking in
Well, that depends. That's on a case by case.
Okay, so okay.
Some people like talking. Some people like dirty talking. Some people don't like
Just like
talking
quietness.
at all. Yeah,
Okay.
because you're concentrating on your breathing and the rhythm of your stroke.
Oh, Doc, I don't know. If you're concentrating on like that, that's extreme concentration. Man.
Right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you get into it that way. But you don't. Then the conversation may go to something that just may change the whole mood, and you don't, get the job done. You know.
We read that next comic, and
Shay said, "Not gay between a man and a woman. I like to please my man to make sure he don't adventure off nowhere, but not always guaranteed." And that's back to the comment that we had mentioned about the rim job. Exchanging oral, on the behind.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what she was referring to, because the idea had been mentioned to you, Barry, about it possibly being gay. Or that's what it was.
Well, I mean, I agree with her there. Please your man, and then communication always has to come into play as well, because a man will not stray if he feels he has open communication. He can be 100% vulnerable with you, tell you his strengths, his weaknesses, his likes, his dislikes, free of judgment.
Yep. Well, that in the communication with active listening.
Right. Active listening.
But cheating, I don't know. Even if you do all those things, there's just some people that's going to cheat. It's innate.
I don't believe so. I think if all of your needs are being met and you communicate, if there is a lack, if you communicate and then that is fulfilled, I mean, you have to know yourself to know that you're lacking something in your relationship. It may not be sex. It may be conversation. It may be friendship. It may be there's a number of things that it can be, but you have to be able to recognize what you're missing and bring that to your partner. Your partner has to be open to that and understanding and say, okay, I see my partner is missing this. I need to deliver.
I agree with you, but it also has to be the reciprocation.
Right.
There's a lot that goes into it, but I still, come down to it. Cheating, unfortunately, it happens.
Yeah.
Even all those things. There's a lot of people that do all these things in a relationship, still occurs.
Right.
These say you can please a person. If they're going to cheat, they will.
Okay.
Let's get it. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I still think it comes down to that person being able to open up to you fully and be vulnerable and communicate what their needs are before, if you're important to them, before they go out and look for something else. What Sabrina say? She's laughing on the breathing.
Brother, breathing. You
gotta concentrate on the breathing.
You gotta breathe. That's like anything. When you go to the gym, you gotta breathe. You
gotta breathe. Rhythm of the stroke.
Man.
You gotta keep that rhythm.
Woo! You get behind the collar. And once again, guys, thank you for tuning in. This is Shopkulture. Make sure that you like and share Shopkulture. And what we talk about today? We talk about sex. And we're gonna go to that last, wasn't a meme, post that you said about men. That last one.
Oh my goodness. Now some of you ladies, if you saw my post today, they kind of went in on me.
They got you.
But I stick by what I say, and because I want to get it right.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go to my page and I'm gonna have to read this post. So what the post said was that I posted.
You want to say that, Rick? I want to say, Felicia, how you doing? She said, I don't agree. People cheat no matter how good it is. Some people are not capable of monogamy. I agree, Felicia.
Okay. That's a good point that she said. And then if you look at other countries, other cultures, most countries and cultures,
it's okay.
Monogamy is not a thing. And men in a Muslim countries, men can have 4 wives.
As long as they take care of.
Long as they are providing and taking care for those 4 households or however it may be. And a lot of countries don't believe that people or men are made to be monogamous, and it's socially acceptable. Mm-hmm. But in this country, it's not that.
Which is, yeah.
Don't get a heart stroke.
I know, that's right.
Okay, now this is what I posted yesterday.
All right.
It says, we know you can get him, but can you keep him?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, many women are not taught how to keep a man. Wanting a man and knowing how to keep a man are two totally different things.
Absolutely.
Keeping a man happy isn't a given skill that every woman is born with. And that's okay, because it can be learned. Furthermore, some women get so defensive when you try to share information on keeping a man that they seem comfortable in their ignorance. Is that you? What do you ladies feel? I mean, it goes both ways, keeping a man, keeping a woman. Oh, and V, that's just what she said. Yeah, how to keep a woman. But we're talking from a male's point of view.
Since this is shop culture again.
And we're trying to give
a a single woman or a woman in a relationship.
Yeah. What it's going to take, what it takes to keep a man, what things are missing, are not being delivered upon. I mean, what does it take to keep a man? And one thing I take is respect that man, support that man, listen to that man, and establish effective lines of communication. But one of the most things is respect, know the power of your words as well as the power of your silence.
Yeah.
I mean, be his peace. I mean, breathe.
What you said there right there is so important.
Yes.
When a man goes home, that's so important, because especially when you're coming from the outside world, it's stressful, everything going out, and you come home, you need that peace.
Right.
You need that peace.
You need
Women,
that peace.
give them that peace.
Be his peace. Yeah, breathe life into his spirit so he comes home for rejuvenation from his woman.
Yes.
Yes. I mean,
that good back massage. Oh, is that too far?
No, that is not too far. There's nothing wrong with running his bath water. It doesn't have to be an everyday thing. I mean, rub his back. And then, fellas, when you know your woman had a hard day, there's nothing wrong with rubbing her feet and letting her know you care for her and that you're being considerate.
Well, you don't like feet, though, Doc.
If you don't like feet, if she spends her day on her feet, if that's her usual vocation, and you're sitting there talking, it's going to show a level of thoughtfulness from you that she's been on her feet all day. Let me take some of this tension off of her while we're having this conversation and decompressing from our day.
Or I would even say for men, because something we struggle with as men is actively listening.
Right.
Because women usually tell, very long stories or whatever, right? Sometimes we cut them out because we're doing other things, watching the game and, whatever.
Right.
How about that active listening?
Right, absolutely. Okay, the voice had to step out, so we got to go to some of these comments.
Okay, talk to him.
Steph said, this is true, Doc. I feel it goes both ways, but I've seen that culture and how you are raised plays a big part, knowing how to do that. Okay. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, and TT said it works both ways. A man can't request all those things and not reciprocate the same thing. And that's exactly what I was saying. Fellas, when you're getting that, she is being that woman that's breathing life into your spirit, when she is your peace, show her that she's appreciated in whatever it takes. Know her love languages and cater to her love languages. If she needs physical touch, give it to her. If she needs words of affirmation, give it to her. If she needs gifts, she likes gift giving, give her gifts. But learn your woman's love languages. Ladies, learn your man's love language.
Yep. And she said when her man rubbed her feet and I gave her a massage. Okay.
Right.
Fair enough.
V said if he is reciprocated, she can be his peace. That goes both ways. Communicate with each other. My man rubbed my feet last weekend and I gave him a massage. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, absolutely. And then let's see. I can't see the other.
Rakita said, woman can breathe life if she ain't out here putting in 160 hours a month too. How can we both be in our feminine energy when we both out here grinding and taking care of kids and everything else? That's a very good point, Rakita. And you have to set time aside for yourselves. I don't care how long you're working. If the kids, if it wasn't for you, you wouldn't be able. The house would be
terrible.
Right, it'd be terrible. The kids would be taken care of.
So her partner needs to also be able to set that time.
Set that time aside for self-care. Yes. You have to do that. It's very important.
Take care of your woman. Okay. Sabrina says same means for a woman. Yes, and guys, we absolutely in the doc is saying stuff that goes both ways.
Right.
So it's not just hey, man, just take and take and take
Right.
and take. No,
but there are a lot of women out there who get with the man who treats them well, and that man is taken for granted a lot more often than not, because that's the type of person he is. That's who he is and what he does. And if
isn't that the man's fault because he picked this particular person that
No.
he knew that who she. If that, I mean, it goes both ways because I say that all the time. It's who he picked. So if you see these traits.
Right, but if that's the man that you are, this is how you treat your woman. I mean, it's going to take time before you see that it's not appreciated and reciprocated,
What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Most women know how to, what Shauna said, most women know how to keep a man that knows how to keep her.
I
don't know if I agree with that.
Shauna, you're going to make me take off the head. Shauna, incorrect.
I don't know if I agree with that, because I think sometimes women have to go a little extra effort I wouldn't say to make a man happy, but to keep him happy, because happiness is an inside job and we're all responsible for our own happiness. But you can take away or you can add to that happiness. So,
yeah, I and Doc, I totally agree with you, because even when having the discussion, I've been in the shop, women came with their man. Oh, I know what he likes. Well, he might evolve too.
All right.
He might, his likes might change.
Are you talking to him on a regular basis? Are you getting
finding out? Yeah. So there's other aspects of it. Just because you know this man over 20 years, well, yeah, over the course of last 10 years, he might start having different likes, wants, desires, the whole night.
And he has to have the openness to share these desires with his woman. That's going to keep him there and not straying. And she has to be open to whatever change in desires. And that's how you keep things spiced up.
Spice it up.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about. Yeah. Finding these other ways of pleasing one another.
Yeah. And for those of you who tuned in late earlier, we were talking about body count of your sexual partner.
How important is that?
Is that important? Let's hear your thoughts on that if you tuned in late.
Me and Doc were, I think, both agreed on that it doesn't matter. Before you, who cares?
Right.
Now, wait, I say that, somebody actually just text me and was like, what if this woman said like over 300 people? I'm like, well, that's a lot of experience.
That is a lot of experience. That depends on her age. I mean, was she a porn star? Could you date a porn star, an ex-porn star?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, so clearly
she might be disappointed with me if she dated a porn.
Right.
I mean, that's what born her, right?
Well, I mean, is she getting passion within that career path? There's no passion there. So I think when a woman gets genuine passion, it's different than
it changes that
of sex.
You think it changes?
Yeah, it changes.
You could, yeah.
But body count, if someone asks, they're concerned about it, and it's probably due to an insecurities. My philosophy: don't ask, don't tell.
And I agree. And then what if the person keeps on asking, though, and it really is something that is continually being brought up in the course of this, of the relationship, even if you don't want to necessarily tell them?
Well, it's not that you don't necessarily want to tell them, but if they really want to know, then you tell them, and they have to be able to deal with the answer. They have to be.
See, I don't think they'll be able to deal with the answer. If they keep on asking you, there's a reason why. So
before you give them that answer, you have to be acceptable to them moving on and not accepting that answer. But you ask for it. So don't ask for nothing if you don't want the answer. If you don't want to know, don't ask.
And I think
be real with yourself. Are you going to be able to accept the answer?
Are you going to be able to accept it? That's a great point. But Doc, do people really even do people actually know the count? How many people actually know the count of how many people that you have had sexual experience with?
Some people, I would say more women know their count. If it's
and they don't really know their count. They don't count the time they got drunk and back in
right.
Yeah,
right.
They got drunk. So.
So you can mark that. Oh, that didn't count.
That didn't count
because that didn't count because. Okay.
You get a lot of those. Women, you guys ought to stop.
Felicia says I do. She knows.
Oh, okay. Hey, okay.
Hey, but why ask? What does it matter?
I just don't think
you're with me now. I enjoy you.
Okay, now we getting a lot of these women saying that I do. Now, wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute, y'all need to stop. Now
see, next Barry gonna ask you to put your numbers up.
No, that's not.
we don't need to know the numbers, but it's good that you do. That's a good thing. But it's also a good thing if a man doesn't ask, because everyone has a past, and your past shouldn't matter.
I just think that you're going into uncharted territory,
right?
When you start asking, and I just, for what reason? It doesn't. What is it? If a woman tell you I slept with 100 guys, is that? I mean, what is? And usually, like I said, usually when people are asking this is after they just had sex or something like that. So weird pillow talk.
Right. So are you?
It's 101. You did that 101.
Yeah. Is the guy going to be accepting of that answer? If she says, you're 101. So, can you accept that? So I'm telling you, brothers, if you can't accept it, don't ask.
And that goes for women too.
Because there's a lot of them. They know their count. Like I said, more women than men will know their count.
Okay. So women are saying they know. How many men? You don't see no men on the side there saying I know exactly.
Right, because
we don't, man.
And probably don't count and probably don't care or really think about it, and probably don't ask, get asked that question. And it probably would be really off guard if that question was posed to you.
What's interesting to me is that anybody, like, let's say over 40 would even ask that. Like, that's just like one of those weird, I don't know. Right. You're sitting at home, hey, how many women you slept with? What?
Right. I mean, what would be a more appropriate question is, how long has it been since you've been intimate with someone? Something like that. If you're going into a relationship with a person. I still think that should go into like body. You don't ask that either. Really? So what did they say? What if it was, 2 days ago I had sex with someone? So
don't tell me that.
That's going to factor into your decision to get intimate with them, right?
Why?
If you ask a woman, when's the last time you had sex, and she tells you, last night, how are you going to feel about that? Are you going to say,
okay, see, this is scenario time, because this is what Doc is doing to me again. And guys, we're just hypotheticals here. So what am I doing? Are we at the house, and are we in the bedroom? And she going to ask me that or tell me that, like, and we're in the bedroom, or are we in midst about to do whatever?
It's wherever you are when you ask that question.
No, I don't care. No.
Okay.
Would you care?
I would care. It would matter to me.
And she said, because that's over 48 hours ago. Who cares?
No, if she said she had sex with someone else last night, am I going to be comfortable with that? No, I think we better wait. Because when you have sex, an act of sex, emotions are exchanged. So there's more than just the act of sex there, or if that's all you're looking for.
So you guys are messing around, and then you guys stopped and had this conversation. That would deter your thought process because she said she had sex prior.
Right, and it's not just because of physical sex, but it's because of the exchange of the feelings that come along with that. And Titi says, I think that question is inappropriate as well. Well, Titi, if you look at it not as just the physical, and if, yes, that person had sex recently with another person, but it wasn't just physical body fluid they exchanged, there were feelings that were exchanged. So do you want to get mixed up in that? That's a decision.
Well, you're already over the house. You guys are already probably in the act of doing it. I just think that at that point, maybe you asked that on the phone or you asked that long before.
Well, maybe it may not come to your mind. It may not come to your mind. Felicia said, ew, let that residue clear first. She said the residue, let it clear. Yeah, give it some time.
She took a shower or whatever.
Okay. So clearly,
I just don't see what's the difference between, prior 24 hours, prior to 30 days, prior to 60 days. She still was intimate with somebody else at the end of the day. So
right.
Does it matter when? I mean, I don't know, man.
Because in the act of physical sex, feelings are exchanged.
But she's still gonna have the feelings from 30 days prior to that.
Maybe not as much. But if it's been within the last 48 hours and you say she gets emotional and starts crying while you're having and about her previous sexual experience, how are you going to feel about that? How are you going to
crying?
Yeah. How are you going to navigate around that? And because she misses the guy she was with last night or Oh, I wish I was with him last night. The guy I was with, because those feelings, emotions.
I think the most important question should be, do you have some protection? That should probably be the number one. Not did you have sex 24 hours or who and how many?
Right. I mean, the only time that wouldn't be a concern. I mean, if that's her vocation, I was saying you're paying for it, so you're paying her to leave afterward. I won't.
That's what they say. That's what they say. You're paying them to leave.
Right.
Wow. And Sandra said, good question. That question should be asked before you decide to think about having sex with that person.
Right.
I agree.
But it usually comes simultaneously, if that's even a concern. Yeah, we agree with you, Sandra. I mean, if it's a concern, it's usually going to come up, or it may not even come up at all, because some guys.
But you know what? This is what I always tell, especially women, when they have one night stands, you got to be very careful, because it's going to come up. Because all of a sudden, that man's the insecurity is going to come. If you did that with me, you did that with a lot of other guys, and that might not be the case at all.
Right. Okay. So we're coming close to the end. We didn't do a pop-up during the week, but we usually do a pop-up preview, give a teaser of the upcoming show. We're going to get back to that.
Yes, we are. Yes, it's been a busy last few weeks, but Shop Culture, we are coming back, and we're going to do some more pop-ups. But this is a good one, and we want to keep hearing some of your comments, especially from women. So, this is a good. Can you read that last? Because I can't see. But
Stephanie Kinlow, how you doing? She said emotional connection and the protection issue of sexually transmitted disease is very important to ask before you even get into a private situation. Very good point.
Very good. So do you get tested with that person before you guys even get into that?
Right, but more often than not, people are not thinking logically. And when you're in your social setting and the attraction is there and alcohol is flowing, these things don't usually come to mind, and people tend to be less responsible. So then, it may pop in your head at the last minute. Are you seeing somebody? Are you being intimate with somebody? And does it matter?
Yeah.
You
it
have
usually
to
comes
be safe.
after the fact, and she is absolutely correct. That should be a conversation you have, but who wants to have, you know what I'm saying? Who wants to have that type of conversation there,
Right. But I mean,
you're having drinks,
you're
having,
Oh yeah, I gave I had some sex this morning, so you want to be splashing around in somebody else's jizzle and the vajizzle,
So she also said, where are the men on this? Well, yeah, this is Shop Culture. And so they are quiet as a mice. You ain't lying.
Right.
We always have this too.
They're sitting there eating their popcorn.
But they're looking.
Reading the comments.
They're reading the comments. We were already joking about this. We already knew that the men didn't want to say too much with it. But it is all good. Guys, we appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching. This is Shop Culture every Tuesday at 8:30. Make sure you like and share. Doc, any last word?
Yeah, I got some last words for you today. And it comes down to your body count, your past. When it comes to that, people often put you in a box due to your past and their own limited, narrow vision. They'll put you in the teenage mother box, the ex-offender box, the high school dropout box, the hood box, or even the roundaway hole box. Those old former titles don't define you, who you are for an eternity. You are evolving. You are an evolving work in progress with potential unseen and unimagined by most. Write your own dictionary entry of who you are. It's not based on who or how many people you've been with.
Whew. Dog, yeah, that hit the point.
Yeah.
Men,
fellas, hey, son.
Yeah, it's still quiet. We're gonna have to call them out, man.
Right, fellas, chime in. Let us know what you think.
Yes.
Let us know if you learned something, even if you got something to share. If you don't want to agree, let's debate about it.
Be honest with your body count. Tell them your body count.
Right.
The tease box. Yes, absolutely.
Don't ask, don't tell.
And that's a great point. And you know who this man is? He's the relationship guru. Dr./Mr. James R. Hill. You know that man with the voice. Oh, wait a minute. No, he didn't. Pastor, so hey, let me see the hat. Oh, that's dope.
Oh,
Okay. See,
now we're gonna plug the product.
Look.
If you want the voice products, you got
look,
to
he
tune
is
in.
clowning. That's why he has a little thing. He was going to actually try to show you guys the hat on the voice. Thank you, boy. Thank you, boys.
Yo, man, yo, it's supposed to be my birthday in a couple of days, man. I figure I'd go ahead and get in the festive spirit real quick.
Okay. Oh, you okay? That is a dope hat, though.
Right.
Appreciate you.
All right, and of course, I'm Barry Crosby. You know what this is? This is Shop Culture. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. And like we always say, man, you gotta stay safe and be blessed.
Be blessed. Stay safe, y'all. We appreciate you. Tell your friends, tune in next time. We want to hear from the fellas too.
And we all can be friends.
We're putting you down to something.